And welcome back into the Wells Fargo Arena. We are set for wrestling action as the Independence Mustangs taking on Creston Orient Maxburg, and we're at weight class 120. That is where we are going to start. We've got Drew Davis from Independence. He is taking on Wyatt Thompson from Creston, and we are underway in this dual meet, and it is a 2-point takedown for Thompson from Creston.
He's a sophomore, and he's 30-18 coming into the tournament, and he started that first period with a nice double leg takedown, and Davis on the edge of the mat just about had a reversal on a long switch. Didn't quite get it, so off the edge of the mat they went, back to the middle they go, and we're going to start this thing up again. 55 seconds left to go in the first period. Again, we're starting at weight class 120. That's a good place to start if you are the Independence Mustangs. Drew Davis is a good starter, so we'll see after that 2 or 3 hour break. We'll see if the Independence Mustangs caught their wind and are ready to tackle a very, very good Panther team from Creston Orient Maxburg. Nice stand up by Davis. He's going to split the hands and score one. 28 seconds left to go. Davis in on a shot. Blocked off nicely by Thompson. Back to our feet we go. Overhook and an underhook. Now double underhook by Davis. He's got it locked up. Let's see if he can launch Thompson to his back. Thompson backs out. Front headlock snap down by Davis. Thompson backs up, and 7 seconds left to go. Back to our feet. And I think this first period is going to end with the score 2-1 in favor of the sophomore from Creston, Wyatt Thompson. Creston comes in with a 17-1. They came in the tournament 16-0. They're 1-1, so they are 17-1 now. Independence came in at 25-4. They are 1-1, making them 26-5. So we're going to start the second period with Davis choosing down, and that's a good spot for him to be. That's a good spot for him to be as he scored that easy escape. And now cradle attempt by Thompson. He's got Davis locked up in a cradle, and Davis is going to fight his way out of it, split the hands of Thompson, and back to work they go. Ankle, tight-waisted ankle by Thompson. Sit out turned in now by Davis. He's going to square off Thompson. Thompson's going to latch onto the leg. That's going to be split of hands by Davis. He's going to go to his feet and score one. We're tied up at 2-2. Over on mat number 6, we'll spy that. That's the 3A. That's 0-0. All right, deuces on the board. Second period, 2-2. Reverse or 2 escapes by Davis and a takedown by Thompson. We're going back to our feet. Davis staying in that square stance, leading slightly with that right leg, and Thompson is weaving back and forth. There's a single attempt, inside single by Davis, a little bit too far away. Nice down block by Thompson, front headlock now by Thompson. Davis reaches up and controls that right elbow. Now Davis is going to try a Kelly on Thompson. Thompson doing a nice job there, staying square. 28 seconds left to go, and we're going to go off the edge of the mat, no points, as Thompson from Creston tried to hit a go behind on Davis from Independence, and off the edge of the mat they went. So back to the middle we go. There's the whistle by our official. Again, second period, 2-2. We're just underway here. No team score yet. We started at weight class 120 on our championship match. That is Brendan Gould. He is ahead 5-0 on Mason Buster. Now 7-0. And there's Davis with a long double as the period ends, but a down block by Thompson. And our period's going to end with no points scored. It's still 2-2. We're going to the third period. Thompson's choice. He's going to go down. Creston wearing their bright red singlets with the black piping around the leg and armpits, and a big white C right across their chest. Independence with their maroon singlets on, and they're ready to go. There's the whistle. There's a stand-up by Thompson getting to his feet. He's going to work on splitting the hands. Davis goes around the head, picks up the inside leg, tries to slap a drive cradle on him. Thompson back up to his feet. Davis drops in on a single, picks up the right leg. He's going to try to get it out in front of him. He goes right back to work on that cradle. He might have it locked up. He's going to try to bring Thompson back into the mat, and off the edge they go. So nice job by the sophomore from Independence, Drew Davis. Davis comes in at 30-14 into the tournament. So a reset, and Davis now will ride the right side of Thompson. There's the whistle. Inside stand up by Thompson. Davis is going to lock around the waist, then drop down and pick up that right leg again. He's got to be careful. He doesn't want to get worn for stalling. He's going to lift up that single. Bent leg now by Thompson and a hard whizzer. Davis is going to try to bump him forward. Thompson stepping down on that single. He might break the grip of Davis and score one. I think he is. Well, Davis still has the leg. No change of position yet. 1:03 left to go. Thompson trying to pick up a 2-point reversal and a stalemate, and it's the same way. Nice job by Drew Davis. Outstanding job by Drew Davis there not to give up the 2 reversal. That would have been a deficit to fight back from. 1:01 left to go in the match. There's that stand-up again by Thompson. Davis is going to cut him loose this time. 1-point escape now. 3-2 in favor of the sophomore from Creston. Drew Davis trying to get the Mustangs out early. The Mustangs, in every duel that they've wrestled, they've dropped behind. And Davis would like to get the Mustangs out on a lead, and this is a very winnable match. There's a single attempt by Davis a little bit too far away. 30 seconds left to go. Now he's going to try to penetrate the defense of Thompson. Thompson just blocking Davis off. Let's get stalling against. There's a throw-by attempt by Thompson. 24 seconds, tap and go. We're going to get warning against Thompson. Long shot by Davis. Go behind by Thompson. Off the edge of the mat they go. No points. 16 seconds left. Got to stop it right there, Mr. Official. Get him back in the middle. Get him back in the middle of the mat. Thank you very much. 10 seconds left. Plenty of time. Plenty of time for a shot. 10 seconds left. 9 seconds left. Davis trying to shoot that shot to take Thompson down. Thompson backing up. Let's get another stalling call on Thompson. There's an outside single. High crotch by Davis. Not going to be enough. Drew Davis is going to lose that simple decision. 3-2. So it's going to be a 3-0 lead for the Panthers after one match. And now we're going to go to weight class 126. And we'll see who Independence puts out on the mat. They've got Tanner Erickson Dale listed. And we'll see who Creston's going to throw out here. Alex Fargo they have listed in the program. Let's see, we'll check our track wrestling just to make sure. It's going to be Wyatt Thompson for Creston.
That's who we just had.
Oh, yes, indeed. Here it comes. Thank you very much. Tanner Erickson-Dale, probably.
Should have William Fargo.
Tanner Erickson-Dale and William Fargo. That's exactly how the program has it. They have Alex Fargo, Jamie, in the program. And there's a 2-point reversal. We're tied up. No, they did not give Fargo a takedown. They gave Erickson-Dale the takedown. He leads 2-0, and he's got a cradle. Tries to roll across his back. And Fargo's going to pick up the 1-point escape. Now he's got the cattle catcher on, and he's going to throw Erickson-Dale to his back, and he's going to tee out. Erickson-Dale is flat on his back in a high bridge now, trying to wiggle his way out of it. He might use the outside edge of the mat. Fargo trying to pull him back in. 2-2 is your score, but it's going to be a 2-point reversal. Okay, they did give Fargo a 2-point takedown. They gave Erickson-Dale the reversal. No, they did not. They gave Erickson-Dale the takedown. They gave Fargo the 2 reversal and 3 near fall. So he goes up 5-2 now. So there you go. We've got it straightened out. 53 seconds left. And William Fargo is up on top riding Erickson-Dale from Independence. Fargo is a junior listed in our program, and he's 15-14 coming in. So this is a winnable match for Erickson-Dale. He just got to get going. Did a very nice job early to get that takedown. Did a nice job to get the takedown. Now Fargo scoops that right arm to a bar, goes around the head of Erickson Dell. He's got Erickson Dell tossed on his back. Could be a fall right here. Erickson Dell, there's the fall. 147. William Fargo will win by fall in 147. Boy, you could just kind of see that coming on. A fall for the junior from Creston as Erickson Dell got out of position, gave up that inside wrist, and Jamie, that made it easy.
Yeah, it did. Unfortunately, Tanner Erickson Dell, and he looked good there. Like you said, he just about had a fall of his own. He had that cradle walked up, got a little high, and gave up that reversal, and then went to his back and lost by fall in 147. So, once again, the Mustangs are in a little bit of a hole here, but I think the way they've been wrestling today, they're gonna. This is that duel where they're gonna have to come back and really fight for that third place finish here.
You're right, and that would be a feather in their cap. Jamie coming in here as the 6th seed and taking that third place trophy home. Well, we've got Cameron Leith from Creston. He is a sophomore, and he comes in with a 5-5 record. Not much varsity experience, 10 matches. Taking on Peyton Nolting. He's the freshman at 16 and 26. So, Jamie, an outstanding opportunity for the freshman from Independence to get the Mustangs on the board here. Right now, Nolting is in on an outside single. He's trying to cut across to a double. Leith is stretched over the back of Nolting, and we're going off the edge of the mat. We're going to have to get a restart with 1:08 left to go. So the freshman from Independence has an outstanding opportunity here to get the Mustangs where they belong, and that's in the front, in the lead. Low single now by Nolting. Picks up that single on the left side of Leith. Leith goes to a hard whizzer. Now he's going to do that sit back. He's going to go in between the legs of Nolting and around the head. He's going to sit right back and dump Nolting on his backside. No points yet. Leith's right leg is draped over the back of Nolting. Nolting still has a hold of it. Scramble situation now, 2-point takedown by Leith. Puts him up on top now, 2-0. Boy, that was a very, very good shot by Nolting. And again, he just didn't finish it. He didn't get that leg out in front, get it up high. And we're going to get potentially dangerous. Great shot by the freshman. Nice counter by the sophomore from Creston. Just did that sit back, and I'll tell you what, that's a very, very good move if you're not expecting it. And just blocked behind the leg of Nolting and just set right back and dropped Nolting on his backside. So we're going to get a restart. Albernet is leading Eddyville-Blakesburg 30-0 at this point. Southeast Polk is ahead 3-0 over Bettendorf, and Assumption is ahead of Mediapolis 3-0. Our match right here, we have Creston ahead 9-0 over the Mustangs. All right, second period underway. Nolting's going to go neutral with Leith. Good choice. See if he can get right back in on that low shot. This time finish it. There's a short arm drag by Leith. Nolting now drops down on one knee, squares Leith up. Leith content to work the head. There's a double by Nolting in deep. Let's see if he can cut the corner. He's got the corner cut. There's a 2-point takedown now by Nolting. That's a very nice shot by the freshman. Let's see if he can elevate there. He's trying to step between the legs of Leith and Turk, pick up the Turk. And that's not going to happen for any back points, but he's got Leith covered up. And now Leith belly down on the mat. Now Leith up to he's got his base built back underneath. Hard, tight waist on the right by Nolting. Chop. There's a stand-up by Leith. It's tied up 2-2. There's an escape by Leith as he splits the hands of Nolting. 3-2 now. Long shot by Leith. Leith's going to hit a go-behind for a 2-point takedown. So a quick 3 points there by Cameron Leith, the sophomore from Creston. Now he's going to try to tilt Nolting. He's got Nolting in a tight waist tilt, rolled through. trapped that arm, trapped the left arm in a chicken wing, a tight waist on the other side, far side. And he's going to pick up a 3-point near fall. Now he's going to step over the head of Nolte. Might be a fall here as Leith stepped over the head, stepped over the side of Nolte. Nolte is flat on his back, and there's the fall. There's the fall in 3:32. Cameron Leith won by fall in 3:32. Boy, Nolte was in great position there, Jamie, to the start of that match. And I'll tell you what, the wheels fell off the wagon, so to speak, and Peyton Nolte went down for the count. That makes the score now 15-0 in favor of the Panthers. And again, we have seen Independence in this position before. We have seen the Mustangs here before in a bit of a hole, but they always seem to work their way out of it. So we're going to move up to weight class 138, and for the Mustangs, we're going to have Luke House. And for the Creston Panthers, we will have Joey Huntington. We'll get the skinny on Huntington. He's a sophomore at 33-10. So both teams full of good sophomores here. Creston's got a very youthful team. They have not wrestled a senior yet in any of these 4 matches. Thompson was a sophomore, Fargo a junior, and Leith a sophomore. So youthful teams going at it right in front. 1:25 left to go. Neutral position with House and Huntington. Huntington is, again, a sophomore. His record on the year is 33-10. House's record coming in is 18-25. 43 matches for the sophomore. Luke House's first year of varsity experience, making the most of it. There's a long shot by Huntington. Go behind attempt by House. Block off by Huntington. Back to the feet we go. So good scramble, a lot of action by both wrestlers. Nice job there by House as he goes to a collar tie, tries a far side single, but off the edge of the mat. So we're going to have to regroup back to the center. Assumption 3, Mediapolis 0 still. They're at weight class 126. All right, single by Huntington. Cuts across to a double. I'll tell you what, he just shot right in and picked up the left leg of House. Picked up the 2-point takedown as he switched across to a double, kept his feet driving. House had nowhere to go but to his back and had to cover up. Had to cover up so he didn't give up any points. 2 was enough for the takedown. So again, the Independence Mustangs 15-0, and they're trying to find a stopper right here. Coming up for the Mustangs will be the stopper. That will be number 1 ranked Chase Straw, as he has been the stopper so far today. And what a stopper he has been. 5 seconds left to go, first period. Huntington on top, riding tough. And our first period is going to come to an end. And let's see whose choice it's going to be. It's going to be Independence's choice. It's going to defer over to Huntington. And Huntington's going to choose down. Huntington sets. Luke House, let's see which side he's going to ride. He will ride the left side. House will ride the left side of Huntington. Huntington with an outside single now, outside stand-up, now an inside stand-up. Splits the hands of House. Now a 1-point escape. He goes up 3-0. House in a long single attempt. Didn't clear the hands of Huntington. Huntington blocks him off. Back to neutral we go. Nice down block by House on the shot by Huntington. Right on the edge of the mat, right into the Independence cheerleaders. So we're going to circle back in and get a restart.
Yeah, this is an opportunity. You know, if you're the Mustangs, you'd like to get that stopper a match early, but just as I say that, Huntington comes up with another takedown here, and it goes up 5-0. 1:30 left to go in this second period. But you know what? Independence has been here before. They've been in this situation. Coach Doyle, we caught up with him in the pre-meet. We didn't get a chance to play that interview. It is on KMCH.com. click on the Independence State Dual Coverage page, and you can find it there. We've got it uploaded there with Coach Doyle. He said these kids have been fighting all year, and they've been in this situation before. They've wrestled West Delaware 3 times, and West Delaware's had a lead until they got to 145, and that's where the Mustangs have made their runs.
Well, Jamie, the thing I like about the Mustangs is they don't panic. You know, each wrestler's got a job to do, and for the most part, they've done it. There's a snap down and spin by Huntington. He's going to pick up another takedown, so he's showing that he's got some pretty slick moves. He's got some slick moves in that singlet, and again, most of it's been off the long shots by Davis. Davis not setting that shot up, just basically a straight-in shot. Straight-in shot, and I'll tell you what, when you don't set that shot up, it's pretty easy to counter. So 7-1 lead, third takedown by Huntington. And with 2 seconds left to go, there's a half Nelson by Huntington, and the second period is going to be over. And it's going to be the choice of Independence, Luke House's choice, and he looks over to his coaches, and all of them give the thumbs up. So he's going to go up on top. Again, hopefully try to set up that cradle. He's got a very good cradle there. He tries the cradle, but he didn't break Huntington down. That's going to be a 1-point escape. He went over the top of Huntington before he broke him down. That made that stand-up easy for Huntington. So it's 8-1, and House with a long shot off the edge of the mat, back to the center. Huntington hustles back, House hustles back. Huntington now a major takedown away from a major decision, trying to build up bonus points. Again, the Panthers have recorded 2 falls in here, so they have scored some bonus points. A fall by Fargo at 126 and a fall by Leith at 132. There's a single by Huntington to the left side of House. House with a nice whizzer. Huntington's going to pick up that right leg and try to pull House back into the mat. He may have 2, but there's a whizzer again by House. House doing a nice job. Now House down to his backside. Might be a 2-point takedown. There's a 2-point takedown by Huntington. Boy, he got the whizzer in and didn't get his hips up off the mat and basically sat there. And when you do that, it's going to be a 2-point takedown anytime. Huntington's going to give House a launch off the edge of the mat. And we're going to get back to the center. 10-1. 10-1 lead now. 10-2 lead as Huntington lets House up. 54 seconds. Long shot by House in on a double. Let's see if he can get his first takedown of the match. It's been all Huntington on his feet. He has 4 takedowns. And he's leading this 10-2 now with 40 seconds left to go. Assumption up 6-0 on Mediapolis. Bettendorf and Southeast Polk are now tied 3-3. Alburnett is all over Eddyville Blakesburg 52-0, as I don't think Eddyville is wrestling any of their varsity this match. 10-2 now, 16 seconds left. House has the right leg of Huntington, and Huntington's going to try to go over the top of House. And I don't think he's going to score a takedown. If House could pull his head out, that would be huge. House is now wrapped around Huntington. No points there as time runs out. I think our referees are going to confer no points. It's going to be a 10-2. Referees are going to confer there. It's going to be a 10-2 major decision. 10-2 major decision for Joey Huntington. Again, the Mustangs are blank. That's going to be 4 points for the Panthers, so it's 19-0 now. But I think that will change right here. Let's see if Creston sends out. They've got a pretty good 145-pounder by the name of Chase Schultz. He's a freshman at 44-4, Jamie. Let's see if they send out Schultz.
Well, it'll be interesting because Schultz earlier today against Mediapolis pinned third-ranked Cole Erickson from Mediapolis. So it'll be interesting to see who they send out. It says Chase Schultz on here, so that's who they say the Panthers are sending out, but it doesn't matter. Chase struck out with a quick takedown.
Oh, that's right, and that was smooth, Jamie. That was super smooth as he got in on that single. And once again, what he does is he finishes that shot. He did not give Schultz any time to sag on him. And the freshman is going to find out what it's like to wrestle an undefeated number 1 ranked wrestler here. 1:28 left to go, 2-0. Straw up early on that very, very nice single leg takedown. There's a 1-point escape by Schultz. And we're going back to our feet. Schultz in a staggered stance. Schultz trying to shoot a long single. There's a go behind by Straw. That's where he's so tough. And no takedowns yet. As Schultz finds the edge of the mat, Straw's going to reach down and pick up that single off the edge of the mat. And we've got to restart. So 2-1 with 1:03 left to go. Chase Straw working on that short arm drag. Kelly now by Schultz as he drops in on Straw and tries to hit Straw with the Kelly. And Straw has to block off the right hip of Schultz. 48 seconds left to go. The freshman showing a little moxie here against the top-ranked junior from Independence. The sweep single attempt by Schultz. And Straw blocks off Schultz. And they find the edge of the mat one more time. Assumption with the fall up now 12-0 on Mediapolis. Assumption number 2, Mediapolis number 1. There's Straw with that short arm drag, almost catches the right leg of Schultz. And once again, Schultz straightens that right leg and keeps it away from Straw. Straw with a long shot again to the left side of Schultz. Once again, Schultz blocks him off. Now front headlock by Schultz as he's got the head of Chase Straw to the mat, posted. And we'll see if we get a stalemate. We've got 12 seconds left. 12 seconds left to go in this first period. And I'm surprised we don't have a stalemate. Both wrestlers have a front headlock on each other. And our referee is just going to let the time run out. Schultz's choice is going to defer over to Straw. And Straw will choose down. No doubt about it. And 2-1. Favor of the junior. Top-ranked Chase Straw, undefeated on the year. Undefeated. And I'll tell you what, we talked about how hard it is to go through the season without a loss. Jamie, and here we find Chase Straw at, I think he's over 50 wins now. He's 42-0. They got 42-0 listed. I'm not sure if that's a current update after the sectional and the regional qualifiers, or excuse me, the district and the regional qualifiers. All right, 3-1. The freshman is not backing down, not one bit of intimidation. There's Chase Straw working that short arm drag again. Schultz doing a nice job controlling the wrists of Straw and not letting Straw free with the hands. There's a 2-on-1 Russian tie by Schultz. He's got the right arm of Chase Straw tied up. And snap down now by Schultz. Schultz trying to hit Straw with the go behind. And there's that Kelly by Schultz. That looks like his textbook move. Once again, Straw goes to front headlock and blocks off the right hip of Schultz. Schultz now with his head buried in the mat. And we're going to get a stalemate with 55 seconds left. 3-1. Well, Jamie, as easy as that first takedown was for Straw, Schultz now has put together a pretty good defense.
Yeah, he really has. And, that's something Chase Straw is going to have to fight through. He's up 3-1, but Schultz doing a good job of not letting him Chase Straw do what he likes to do until now.
And what he's done, yeah. Just as you said that, a takedown by Straw. That's been the case. The freshman showing a little moxie there, but it was Chase Straw in on that quick takedown. Straw lost his contact, and during that break, he came right back on the whistle, got a takedown. Schultz back up to his feet. Schultz up to his feet, and now Schultz trying to hit Straw with a switch. Could be a switch. He's trying to step over the right leg of Chase Straw. 9 seconds left. Schultz has his right leg over the head of Straw, and he stepped behind Straw's right foot with his left leg. They were draped around each other, and our official called a stalemate. Schultz will have to go down. Upset brewing. Top-ranked Logan Ryan from Bettendorf behind 2-0. Almost got thrown to his back. And 6 seconds left to go. Stand up by Schultz. Schultz trying to clear that right leg. Straw picks it up and front trips. And time's going to run out. And it's going to be Schultz's choice to start the third period. No hesitation. He's going back to the mat. 5-1 lead. 5-1 lead for Chase Straw, trying to get the Mustangs up on the board. It's 19-0 in our dual meet here. Again, I can see why this freshman is 44-4, Jamie. He's got good hips and he's pretty smooth. And it's taken Chase Straw everything he's got to control him. He's really good at hand control. And if you can control Chase Straw's hands, tell you what, you got an opportunity to score some points on him. And there's a nice escape by Schultz as he clears the hands and clears his feet. It's now 5-2 with 1:28 left to go. So Chase Straw being tested just a bit in this match with this young freshman. 1:17 left to go, 5-2. Chase Straw ahead, trying to stay undefeated as we open up the individual part of the state tournament. That will start tomorrow with Class 2A at 9 a.m. Won't want to miss that start at 9 a.m. We'll have the 2A kids taking the mat. There's a long shot on the whistle by Schultz. Nice down block by Straw. That was just a really nice down block. Laces were down, hips were down, pressure was on the head and shoulders of Schultz. And again, that's what makes Chase Straw so difficult to wrestle. Off the edge of the mat, back in we go. And we've got to go, somebody's got to go to the blood corner. I'm not sure who it is, Jamie.
While we do that, let's take a rundown of the scores from around the mat as Alburnett leads Eddyville Blakesburg 58-6. Clarion Goldfield in the first place match is up on top of Don Bosco 14-3. In Class 2A, the championship, Davenport Assumption leads Mediapolis 12-0. Bettendorf leading Southeast Polk 7-3. And in the third place match in 3A, Waverly Shellrock leads Cedar Rapids Prairie 14-3.
Some outstanding matches taking place here. So Clarion Goldfield trying to pull the spoiler, Jamie. They knocked off number 1 Alburnett in those semis, and that was a whale of a duel. They got a little payback from last year, and now they're trying to play Giant Killer again, trying to knock off Don Bosco. 34 seconds left to go in the match. There's a tap and go by Schultz in on a single on Straw. Once again, Straw does a nice job blocking Schultz off. I tell you what, the freshman got in on the leg. That doesn't happen very often, but he got in deep on the leg. And now he's going to try to throw Straw. Straw Syracuse is out of it, and back to the center we go. That was just a very, very good scramble. Nice job by both wrestlers. 14 seconds left to go. Schultz trying to score a takedown, trying to dent that defense of Chase Straw. Schultz in on that Kelly one more time. Straw, good scouting report by Straw, as he's not going to let Schultz dump him with that Kelly. We've got 2 seconds left. And it appears that Straw will win this match 5-2. That will put the Mustangs up on the board 19-3. And Jamie, that's a very, very fine freshman from Creston.
It certainly is, and he's ranked number 6 in the state as a freshman, and Chase Straw doing what he does and having an outstanding match there.
Well, that's going to bring us to weight class 152, and we'll see if the Mustangs bring Jake Jewell to the mat. Creston has Gavin Leith listed as senior at 20-5, and we'll check it out here and see if that's what we've got. Not posted up on our track wrestling yet, but that's what our program says. Gavin Leith with a very heavily taped left shoulder, 25 matches, so maybe an injury that kept him out for part of the season. Now he's healthy, and he's right back here. That is right, Jake Jewell for the Mustangs. And Gavin Leith, first senior that we have seen for the Creston Panthers, and there's a nice takedown by Jewell. Not only a takedown, but he got a couple of back points out of it, so a 4-point move got in there deep. Got in there deep on the Kelly, and then he dumped Leith to his back for a couple of counts. Got the 2 and got the 2, and boy, you like to see that. Jamie, this is our 6th match, and Leith from Creston is the first senior that has stepped to the mat out of both teams.
That tells me that next year these two teams will be loaded for bear, because I tell you what, no first senior and you're after 6 matches, that's for either team, so that's pretty impressive.
So that is, we'll see plenty of both of these teams next year, I'm sure of. Well, 1 point escape by Leith, 43 seconds left to go. And Jewel, we're going to get a stalemate as Jewel was hanging on an overhook and an underhook, was hanging on and squeezing Leith. Leith had no place to go. All right, there's the whistle, 35 seconds. Leith in a square stance, now leading slightly with that right leg. Jewel now looking for another shot, maybe another 4-point move. High crotch attempt by Leith, nicely countered by Jewel as he backs out of it. Again, Jewel, a very fine sophomore for the Mustangs, coming into the tournament at 29-10. There's a shuck attempt by Leith, and with 10 seconds left to go, Jewel pulls him out of the legs and back up to the feet. 9 seconds left to go. We'll see if both wrestlers are content to take this to the second period. And that's what's going to happen. All right, Creston with the red singlets, with the red leg bands. And let's see whose choice it's going to be. It's going to be Creston's choice. He's going to go down. Leith will go down. Gavin Leith, 20-5. For Coach Darrell Frayne, a Graceland graduate, right there in Lamoni, Iowa. There's a stand-up by Leith. Gets to his feet. He's trying to split the hands of Jewel. Jewel's got to try to lift him and return him. Might get a stalling call against Jewel. Should be a stalling call against Jewel. Referee's not going to call it. It's going to let him stand there. Boy, Jamie, that was 16 seconds of Jewel wrapped around the waist of Leith. But if he's not going to call it, you might as well take advantage of it.
That's right, and that's the Creston coaches wanted it, but they never gave it to him. Like you said, if you're independent, you'll definitely take it.
Well, there's a stand-up by Leith again, and he turns in and faces Jewel. Now Jewel drops in and tries to pick up the right leg. Leith steps down on it, clears the leg. It's now a 1-point escape, so now it's 4-2. Leith 2 points away from tying this up. And if you're Jake Jewel, you got to get back on the offense. You got to get going, looking for a shot. There's that low single by Jewel. He's in deep on the right leg of Leith. Leith draped over the back of Jewel, trying to block the hips off of Jewel. Leith now trapping the head of Jewel between his legs. Jewel now coming between the legs of Leith, and he's going to pick up a 2-point takedown off this, and he's going to have some back points. That looks like 2. Referee hasn't signaled it yet. There's a 2-point takedown by Jewel. Very nice job there. And we're going to stop it for some reason, and I don't know why. Potentially dangerous, I guess, as the knee of Leith gets trapped underneath Jewel. So we're going to get a reset with 51 seconds. Jewel will ride the right side. There's the whistle. Claw ride by Jewel. And Jewel's going to try to tilt Leith now. Maybe a couple of 2 points on a near fall. Gets a 1,001 count, and Leith rolls through. 36 seconds left. Inside wrist now by Jewel. Jewel up 6-2. Courtesy of 2 takedowns and a near fall. So he's had his way with Leith on his feet. Leith now to a stand-up. Leith trying to split the hands of Jewel. Jewel hanging on for dear life. There's a standing switch. Hip heist by Leith. He's going to turn and face Jewel for a 1-point escape. It's now 6-3. 10 seconds left to go.
And if you're Jake Jewel, you would have really liked to ride him out the rest of that period. But just an escape. You didn't give up that reversal. So you're still up 6-3. Going as we're going to head to the third period here with Jewel and Leith. And that was so far a good match here by Jake Jewel.
Yeah, I think it's going to be Jewel's choice, and let's see where he decides to go.
Is he going to go neutral?
He's going to go neutral. I think that's a good choice. Jamie, you've owned the takedowns. You've owned the match on your feet. So you might as well wrestle where your strength is. We talked about that through the course of the year. Wrestle where your strength is. 151 underway. Both wrestlers on their knees now. Overhook, underhook by both wrestlers. Someone's going to have to come back to their feet or we're going to get a stalemate probably. Referee's going to tell him to work there. Front headlock now by Jewell. So he's got the head of Leith buried to the mat. Now Leith gets his head up. Leith up on one arm, and there's a go behind by Leith. He's going to try to get the corner on Jewell. Jewell trying to hit a standing switch. Could be a 2-point takedown by Leith. No points yet. Now it should be 2. Leith steps around and hooks the left leg of Jewell. Jewell still has the left leg of Leith wrapped up. And Leith now trying to go over the top. And this might be a 2-point takedown by Jewell if he could get out the back door. Come out the back door. 1 minute left to go. And that's going to be a 2-point takedown by Leith. First takedown by Leith of this match. It's 6-5, 51 seconds left to go. So, Jamie, we talk about you got to keep wrestling. We've talked about that through the course of the year.
Yeah, you know, we talk about not sitting on a lead and building on it and building on that lead, and that's what Jewell has to keep doing here. He can't sit on that lead right here because, you know, you just saw what happened. Leith came in and made this a 2-point match.
Well, Leith is going to cut Jewell loose. And this is where the sophomore here has to keep wrestling. There's a long single shot. Head inside single. And nicely countered, a hard whizzer by Jewell. Leith is wrapped around. He's got a body lock on Jewell. Jewell's going to whizzer him off the edge of the mat. 23 seconds left to go. Nice defense there by Jake Jewell. Great shot by Leith. Even better defense by Jewell. Powerful shoulders and powerful hips. 22 seconds left. Leith on the attack. Jewell's got to be careful here now. You don't want to give up a takedown and send this thing to overtime. Jewell's doing a good job controlling the right elbow of Gavin Leith, the senior from Creston. 9 seconds left and off the edge. We're going to get a start. 8 seconds. I'll tell you what, that's plenty of time to get a shot off. So if you're Jake Jewell, you haven't been warned for stalling yet. So you got to tie up the wrists of Leith. 7-5, 3 seconds left to go, and that's going to be a nice win by Jake Jewell. 7-5. Nice job there by the sophomore from Independence. That's going to give the Independence Mustangs 3 more. It's now 19-6, so they are clawing their way back, Jamie. We're going to go to weight class 160, and we should have Nicholas Holt for the Mustangs taking the mat. And let's see who Creston will send out. They've got Taylor Pettit. He's a junior at 36 and 18 listed. And that's exactly who they're going to throw out there. Taylor Pettit and another junior. I'll tell you what, Creston is loaded. They will be highly ranked next year when they come into the season. Pettit is a state qualifier as an individual, so Nick Holt has his hands full right here. 1:27 left to go, 0-0. Match score now is 19-6. The Mustangs have won 2 in a row. Let's see if Nick Holt can make it 3 in a row. 18 for Davenport Assumption, 0 for Mediapolis. 17 for Clarion Goldfield, 3 for Don Bosco. There's a nice takedown, snap and spin by Holt. He picks up a takedown. That's just what the doctor ordered. I'll tell you, Jamie, you see Nick Holt wins this match. We talk about how tough the Northeast Iowa wrestling is. West Delaware hosted the sectional, then went to DeWitt for their district. Independence hosted that sectional. Then they had to go to New Hampton for their district. That very two of the toughest districts in the state. And we're seeing Nick Holt right here battle the state qualifier from Creston. And once again, the toughness of the schedule of the Mustangs is paying dividends right here at the state meet.
Yeah, it is. And, you know, the schedule that they wrestle throughout the entire year is just, it's unreal. And they're wrestling just outstanding wrestlers each and every week. You know, they went up to the Clash this year, Battle of Waterloo, the Walmart tournament. The schedule they wrestle is just unreal.
Well, and again, Coach Doyle and his staff there do that for a purpose, and we're seeing the purpose. This is the purpose right here. You wrestle a tough schedule because of this purpose. You get to the state duels, you want to be able to compete. And the Independence Mustangs, again, don't look at their records. They are competing. They are battle-tested, and certainly would be nice to see them come back from this deficit. They are on their way. They've won 2 straight with Straw and Jewell. Now Nick Holt is up 2-1 after the first period. A very nice takedown to start this first period. It's going to be Pettit's choice. He's going to defer over to Holt, and Holt's going to go back on his feet. And again, the Mustangs have been wrestling very, very well on their feet, and that is a good thing. If you can't wrestle on your feet, it's going to be pretty hard to beat people. 1:46 to go, 2-1. Again, Nick Holt coming into the state tournament, a sophomore at 32-12, listed in our program. 1:33 to go. There's a tapping in on a double by Holt, and a good down block by Pettit, the junior for Creston. Down in South Central Iowa, Creston, Orient, Maxburg, together now for their wrestling program. 1:22 left in the second period. Neutral position we are. Holt doing a nice job working the head. There's a tap and go. We're going to get warning. There's a double leg takedown by Holt. He's in deep. He covers the hips of Pettit, scores the 2. Very fine shot. And Jamie, I like that. Tap, 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 snap on the head, in on the double, cut the corner, cover the hips, and you got it.
Exactly, and that's what wrestling is. That's where the best wrestlers, some of the best wrestlers, they're always moving their hands. You just really you can confuse a guy by being able to do that.
Well, and not only confuse them, but by the time you get to the third period, it wears on you. Your neck's tired, your back's tired, you got all your weight coming forward. There's a double leg takedown again by Holt. He's in deep, switches off to a single. He lifts Pettit up off the mat, lift and return for a 2-point takedown. Nick Holt on a roll. Again, one thing Coach Doyle talked about is some of these guys, for 9 of these Mustangs, this will be their last match of this season. Independence qualified 5 to the individual tournament. We'll have them covered tomorrow. But for 9 guys, Jamie, it's their last time putting that singlet on this year, so they certainly want to go out with a win. There's a tilt attempt by Holt, a stand-up by Pettit, and Holt gets himself in trouble as he tries to tilt Pettit. He rolls across his back, and boy, oh boy, that would have been disastrous as he rolled across his back, and Pettit stalled on top of Holt. Holt had to go to a high bridge and roll through just as the second period ends. And you talk about not putting yourself in bad position to score points. You want to stay in great position, especially when you're leading the match 6-2. Holt's choice, he's going to go down. We're going to put Pettit on top. Taylor Pettit, the junior, for Creston at 36-18. No slouch. Again, state qualifier for Creston. There's a cradle attempt by Pettit. Nice job by Holt as he splits the hands of Pettit, gets to his feet, and finds the edge of the mat. So we're going to get a restart. And there's the set. There's Pettit with a chop, tight waist. Drives Holt to his left side. And you can see what Pettit's trying to do here. Very long and lanky. He's trying to hit that cross-face cradle on Holt. And he comes with that cross-face from the right to the left. And Holt comes with the sit-out turn-in. And he finds the edge of the mat. Boy, Holt's got to create some motion. You can't let Pettit slap that cross-face on and lock that cradle up. Looks like that could be his textbook move right there, his go-to move. There's a hard chop again on the whistle. Pettit rides the right side, then a hard chop to the left side of Holt. 1:24 left to go. There's a nice stand-up by Holt, picks up a 1-point escape, 7-2. That's good hand control right there. As Pettit tried to come over the top of Holt. There's a long shot, now front headlock by Pettit. Pettit's going to snap. Alburnett will take the third place trophy home with a 70-9 win over Eddyville. It looks like Eddyville is resting their guys for the state meet tomorrow. 1 minute left, 7-2. 7-2 with Nick Holt. Boy, this would be a huge win, Jamie. We're talking about a sophomore here that is one takedown away. Well, I tell you what, a takedown and escape. You're talking bonus points here. You know, we talked about how important that is through the course of this tournament, through the course of the season. It's 7-2, and you've had almost a minute to get a couple of takedowns to build this to a major. That's going to be a long shot by Holt. That's going to be a go behind now by Pettit. That's going to be Pettit's first takedown. That's an ill-advised shot by the sophomore from Independence. He did not need to take that long a shot. Again, you set that shot up. And, boy, he took a long shot, a long double. Telegraphed that shot, and that was an easy snap and spin by the junior from Creston, Taylor Pettit. Now it's 8-4. 12 seconds left, and it appears that's how that's going to end. Pettit again trying to lock up that cradle, not going to get it. That's going to be an 8-4 decision. I'll tell you what, the Mustangs are on just a little bit of a roll here. But Jamie, you've won 3 straight matches, but no bonus points to show for it.
Yeah, but and we saw them do that earlier in that duel against Davenport Assumption. They came back and they were able to. They came back and were able to get within striking distance, but you would still like those bonus points. That's going to get you back into this duel a lot quicker than getting in here and just getting decisions.
Yeah, you need those bonus points, and here's a tough match here at weight class 170 in our program. This is Zach Kramer, the senior from Independence, taking on, I believe this is the coach's son, the senior from Creston, Trevor Frayne. Got two outstanding seniors going at it. Let's check it out. Yes, it is. Well, I'll tell you what, if Zach Kramer can come through one more time on Trevor Frayne, that would be huge. But I'll tell you what, he's got his work cut out for him. The senior from Creston is 45-3, and he's ranked in the top 3 of the state. He's an individual state qualifier for the Creston Panthers. So Kramer has been on fire. He's 2 for 2 with 2 falls. And again, his fall against Albia ignited the Mustangs, got them on a roll, and they picked up the win in that first duel. Seemed like a long time ago, Jamie. That was 11 o'clock this morning.
Oh, man, doesn't it, though?
So there's Frayne going to hit a duck under on Kramer, and he's going to lift him up and take him right down to the mat. There's a 2-point takedown. Frayne showing a little bit of strength here against Kramer. Now an inside wrist on the right side. Frayne with an inside wrist. He's going to try to roll that out to a bar. Now he's got that left arm rolled out. He goes around the head. He's going to try to curl the head of Zach Kramer up and throw Kramer to his back. Kramer's going to get that right arm back. And that's a nice job by the senior from Independence. The 3A match, Bettendorf now takes a 14-6 lead on Southeast Polk. The Cowboys from Clarion Goldfield up 17-6 on the Don Bosco Dons. There's a tilt by Frayne. He's got Zach Kramer on his back, and he's picking up. He's going to get at least 2 out of it, and Frayne's going to try to load him up for more. And again, we've seen that, Jamie, this has been the year of the tilt. Wherever that, somebody must have went to a clinic or had people coming in, and the tilts, we saw those in the late 80s and early 90s. They were popular and then kind of went away from it, and all of a sudden the tilts are back in force. And I'll tell you what, if you're good with the tilts, you can score a lot of points in the hurries. We just saw Trevor Frayne with the takedown and then 2 tilts. He's up now 7-0 after 1. It's going to be his choice. He's going to go neutral to start the second period.
Absolutely, and if you're Kramer, you got to get yourself back into this match. He's had an outstanding day with 2 pins so far, and you mentioned it seems like forever ago since that first duel where he kind of played the hero. He got things turned around for the Mustangs, and he needs to try to get that going here again.
Well, it's 7-0. He needs a takedown. on Trevor Frayne to get himself back in the match. And snaps, a lot of snaps by Frayne. He's very heavy on the head of Zach Kramer and very physical. Tell you what, Trevor Frayne, very, very physical. He fills out that singlet, as does Zach Kramer. Kramer is very physical also. So you got two very, very fine 170-pounders. Again, Kramer, not a state qualifier. Any other district he probably would have been, but that 2A district at New Hampton was a bear, and Kramer was just a little bit short. There's a duck under there's a high crotch by Frayne. He gets in deep on the legs of Kramer and lifts Kramer up to his head, up off the mat, very, very high. I'll tell you what, that was a lift. That was Trevor Frayne getting his hips underneath and elevating Zach Kramer, getting Kramer's feet and hips up off the mat, and then picking up a 2-point takedown. Now we're going to get stalling on Zach Kramer. 9-0, so Frayne working on a major decision. 16 seconds left to go in this second period. Frayne up 9-0, and he's got a double chicken wing on Kramer, and he's trying to crank Kramer to his back. Our referee's down there is looking close to make sure that's not going to be a potentially dangerous move there, and we're going to go to the third period. So, Jamie, if you're Zach Kramer, you got 2 minutes left in your career. I'll tell you what, throw caution to the wind, see what happens here, and try to make something happen. Try to get in a scramble, come out on top, and do something great for the Mustangs. There's a 1-point escape. There's a 1-point escape for Frayne. He takes a 10-0 lead. We're going back to neutral. There's a foul by Don Bosco. Don Bosco has closed this up now, 17-12 now. A foul by Bettendorf. Bettendorf now goes up 20-6 on Southeast Polk. And in the 2A championship match, it is 21-0. Jamie, I'm really surprised at that Assumption Mediapolis score, 21-0.
I am too, and I know Mediapolis they're tougher in their upper weights, but right now they're having a hard time getting to them upper weights.
Well, here we go, 10-0. Zach Kramer has been warned for stalling, so he's got to get moving. Off the edge of the mat they went. So a restart back in the center. No points. Frayne has shut out Kramer. And again, you would like to finish your career as a Mustang on a high note, but again, a very, very tough cookie in Trevor Frayne from Creston. That's a lot of C's. Front headlock now by Frayne. Front headlock by Frayne as he takes Kramer to the mat. Now he's going to try to lift Kramer and throw him to his back, and Kramer's going to find that edge. And back to the center, 42 seconds left. Southeast Polk with a fall. It's now going to be 20-12. Mason Kerr pins Brady Nehrink. I think that was kind of expected. 28 seconds left. Neutral position we go. Trevor Frayne just content now to keep that 10-0 major. Zach Kramer wrestling his heart out here for his Independence Mustangs. And I'll tell you what, he's had a great day, a very memorable day, Jamie. And when he looks back on this day, he can smile. Yeah, he wasn't an individual qualifier, but he certainly helped his team to a couple of good showings here today. That first win got the Mustangs on the front side of the bracket.
10-0 major decision. It's going to make our team score now 23-9 in favor of Creston.
Well, there certainly will be a stopper coming up here for Independence in Kyle Fank. And let's see who Creston decides to throw out on the mat. Could be Adam Baker. He's a senior at 42-8, Jamie. Adam Baker, I tell you what, Creston has matched the strength of the Mustangs in their upper weight so far. And we'll check our place right here. They do not have it posted yet, but there's Kyle Fank in on a low single. and he's going to come out the back door and pick up a 2-point takedown. So Adam Baker it is. Baker is a senior at 42-8. So another tough matchup. I'll tell you what, Fank made that single look very, 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 very easy as he got in low, got in deep, didn't stay on the mat, brought his head up, covered the hips, and he's going to go right to work on that cradle.
Kyle Fank has made a lot of takedowns look easy on some really good kids this year, and I think, moving forward here in this individual tournament, I think having these 3 matches today for most of the Independence state qualifiers is really going to help them moving forward.
Well, Jamie, and we talked about it, we might see Kyle Fank in the finals on Saturday night. The way he's been wrestling, again, he is very, very difficult to wrestle with his length and his leverage and his grip, and he's really worked on his offense from his feet. And I think Jamie not being here last year and sitting out and watching everybody else wrestle, I think that just put a sour taste in his mouth, and he came back this year with one goal in mind, and that was to have a great season and not to have to watch from the outside in again.
Absolutely, and he got beat in the district tournament last year, and I think talking to Coach Lochran, who has worked out with Kyle Fank a lot these last couple of years, said something happened after that loss in the district tournament. He started getting more physical, and he just turned it on, and you can tell that something really clicked here from last year until the beginning of this year.
And we're seeing that click right now as he's on top of Adam Baker. Again, Baker, a senior, no slouch at all, 42-8, 50 matches, and he's won 42 of them. But Kyle Fank coming in here is 41-1, and I'll tell you what, wrestling very, very well. So we're going to get Stalling against Baker with 5 seconds left to go in the first period, and a lot of people have got Stalling. When you wrestle Kyle Fank, people have been called it. Again, you try to get out from underneath, but his length, he just drapes over the top of you, and he's going to go to Wartburg. And Jamie, I would say within a year or two at Wartburg, he's going to be a very good addition to that Wartburg wrestling room.
Oh, I think so too. His brother Kyle's there right now, and is highly ranked in the nation in Division III, and doing some good things for them right now. And I tell you what, if they can produce the same kind of results out of little brother Kyle, they're going to be very happy with what they see in Waverly.
You are right. Again, Jamie. 2-0, Fank trying to score a 2-point takedown as he is on top of Baker, and we're going to get a potentially dangerous. Good scramble. That was a good shot by Fank. He went through the legs of Baker. Baker trapped the legs of Fank, and Fank was on top of Baker, but Baker still had a hold of Fank's ankle, so we're going to get a stalemate and go right back to our feet. It's 2-0. 2-0, nice snap down by Fank. Long shot by Fank in deep. Let's see if he can turn this into 2. He's got his head stuck between the legs of Baker. He's going to try to pop his heads to the outside. Baker's going to pinch the head of Fank. Now Fank pops his head to the outside. He's going to cover the hips and pick up a 2-point takedown. That was a sweet shot, a sweet finish, and a nice 2-point takedown for the senior from Independence. 51 seconds left to go, second period. He's up 4-0 and looking very, very tough on the mat. Well, Mediapolis has scored 10 points now on Assumption Davenport. It's 21-10 now. But Gabe Rangel for the Assumption Knights has a headlock locked up, and he's looking for a fall. Nice job by Fank as he's going to latch onto. There's a fall by Rangel. There's Fank as he's going to try to latch onto a cradle, and Baker's going to pull the hands off, and Fank is going to cover him up. 22 seconds left to go. 22 seconds left to go in the second period, and Fank on top, riding tough, applying a lot of pressure. He's sitting over that the left ankle of Baker, and draped over the top. All the weight on the head and shoulders of Baker, and I tell you what, you can't do enough bench pressing, enough push-ups to get yourself up from that pressure put on by Kyle Fank. Going to be Baker's choice to start the third period, and he's going to go to neutral position Again, not able to ride Fank, not able to get out from underneath, so he's going to take his chances right here. Long shot again by Fank, in deep. As he shoots in deep, Baker catches his right arm. Fank leaves his right arm up just a little bit, but now gets it back underneath of him. Latches onto a single. He's got his head stuck between the legs of Baker one more time, but now he's going to keep crowding the hips of Baker, pull his head out, cover him up, and he's going to pick up a 2-point takedown. So that's the third takedown by Kyle Fank. And now, Jamie, you got to be thinking bonus points here. Maybe cut him loose. Talked about how important bonus points are. Cut them loose. You got 1:20 left to go.
Yeah, and this is a situation where you need those bonus points. You know, you're running out of matches here, and you're running out of opportunities to get those bonus points, and that's what Kyle Fank has to do here.
And he did cut him loose. It's 7-1 right now. We're going to get a stalling call against Baker. Fank cuts Baker loose. Now a takedown gives Fank a major decision. It's 7-1. There's a double by Fank. Cuts across to a single. Once again, his head's caught between the legs of Baker, and he's going to try to split the legs. Baker again draped on top of Fank. Fank has his hips up. He's going to try to pull his head out. Right now, his head is caught between the legs. We might get a stalemate. Now the referee's going to let him wrestle. Fank drives across Baker, pulls his head out, picks up the 2-point takedown. Now it's 9-1. Now you can keep the pressure on. Now you can pound forward, push forward, drive forward for 25 seconds and try to get a 2-point tilt, a near fall here. You've got the major. Get after the back points. 15 seconds left to go, and it's been all business-like. Again, Baker is no slouch, ladies and gentlemen. He's 42-8. Now we're going to get stalling against Kyle Fank. Go figure right there. Fank trying to work some inside wrists and some bars and stuff, and he gets called for stalling. I don't think Baker knows what hit him, and Baker's going to have to take some injury time as he's holding his ribs. So referee's going to stop this match, and we've got to bring the trainers out. Let's recap what's going on. It's now 17-17. Clarion Goldfield and Don Bosco tied up. Bettendorf still up on Southeast Polk 20-12, and we got overtime. Mediapolis and Assumption is now 27-16. Assumption in the lead, and Waverly Shell Rock all over Cedar Rapids Prairie 30-15 for third place. So some good action. Alburnett toasted the Eddyville Blakesburg Rockets by a score of 70-7. I believe that's what it was. Weight class 182, Don Bosco's Austin Schmidt is taking on Ryan Anderson. And Schmidt trying to score a takedown. There's a hard stand-up by Baker. Fank slaps across, body right in on him. And this clock is going to wind down. It's going to be a 9-1 major decision. That's just a nice job by the senior from Independence. 9-1 major. That's going to give the Mustangs 13 now to 23. So the gap has been cut in two. It's been halved. And now we're going to go to weight class 195, and we're going to see Matt McMillan. And let's see who Creston's going to send to the mat. It looks like Seth Maitland. He's a sophomore at 34-9. Another two good sophomores going at it right here.
This is Caden Hewlett.
All right, thank you very much. All right. Caden Hewlett, Jamie, is listed as a 220-pounder. So he must be one of those like Jason Grover, able to flip-flop between 195 and 220. Not sure what happened here.
Something not
good. We got
good,
something not good at all. Something not good at all. I'm not sure what it is. They got to go in a hurry on the mat in front of us. They got to hustle, and I'm not sure what that is, Jamie, but we're going to go back over to Matt McMillan because he's working on a 2-point takedown on Caden Hewlett. Caden Hewlett And there's a throw by McMillan. He's trying to cut the corner on Hewlett, and Hewlett squares him off. A throw by again by McMillan, and Jamie just can't get the corner. He's got to take another step with that. McMillan does. Bettendorf wins an overtime match here in front of us in the 3A. So they take a 23-12 lead now on Southeast Polk. I'm not sure what happened there, Jamie, but you're spying it with your binoculars. We've got the EMTs come in, so wow.
Whatever it was, I know Chase Hager did not like what he saw. He got off the mat, he took his headgear off and ran over to the corner because it was, whatever it was, it wasn't good. He heard something or he saw something that he didn't like.
Well, he was ready to upchuck there, Jamie. All right, McMillan with a 2-point takedown on the throw by, finally got in on it, finally covered the hips of Hewlett. And Hewlett is a freshman, Jamie. So I'm telling you what, these Creston, 1, 2, 3, 4. Creston only has 4. Similar to Independence, they only have 4 seniors in their starting lineup. So Coach Frayne has some kids to work with, and we could see them battling. And Assumption's got 5 seniors, so tell you what, whatever happened there, Jamie, it's ugly down there. As one of our EMT guys even looks a little queasy. All right, 154 left in the second period underway, and Hewlett will go down. And Hewlett's going to pick up a point. I believe it's locked hands by McMillan. So McMillan's going to have to really work, get that point back. There's a stand-up by Hewlett. And again, Hewlett's record is 28-11. And he's got a lot of motion in his feet. He's got some good strength for a freshman. He's wrestling 195, and that's kind of similar to what Matt McMillan was doing last year, Jamie. You wrestle 195 as a senior, and as a freshman, and then you just kind of chalk that up for experience. We're tied up at 2-2 now. 122 left to go. We're weight class 195. Our match scores 23-13 in favor of the Panthers. Independence, though, has won 3 out of the last 4 matches, but again, they've got to do something great here. They've got to pick up some big wins here. Actually, they've won 4 out of the last. They've won 4 out of 5, but not picking up any bonus points. So Kyle Fank picked up a major decision, so only 1 bonus point. I hope that was not an individual qualifier out, Jamie, for Mediapolis. It was. So that's the risk you run, and that would be not listed in my program here.
Is Ethan Lamb.
Ethan Lamb, all right, weight class 220, I believe, or 195, one of those. So, again, we got EMTs, we got doctors here. They're going to do a nice job of taking care of the
I saw him with a little air pump, so I'm sure they're putting an air splint on it just so.
What if we got a dislocated elbow, Jamie?
Or broken something, I don't know.
Well, we're going to find out. All right, 2-2, 10 seconds left to go. Matt McMillan and the upstart freshman Caden Hewlett tied up at weight class 195. There's a shucking in on a single as Hewlett, now double underhook by Hewlett. And we're going to, time's going to run out, and it's going to be McMillan's choice, and he's going to go down. Tied up at deuces, third period, McMillan's choice, he will go down. And the freshman goes right to a claw ride, right to the thigh with the left, right around the neck. He wraps that long arm around the neck of Matt McMillan. McMillan gets to his feet, splits the hands, and he's going to score 1. He will take the lead right here. Don Bosco with a 4-2 win at 182, so they will take the lead 20-17. 3-2 now. Matt McMillan, the sophomore, outstanding sophomore individual qualifier, taking the lead here. And trying to get the 5th win out of the last 6 matches for the Mustangs. Again, the Mustangs have matched Creston. Creston taking that big lead courtesy of those two falls at 126 and 132, and then a major decision. So they wrapped up some bonus points in those 3 wins to start the dual meet here. 102 left in this match. Again, McMillan hanging on to that 3-2. McMillan hanging on to that 3-2 win, or that 3-2 lead. 48 seconds left to go. Match out in front of us, Bettendorf and Southeast Polk 0-0, weight class 195. Again, Mac McMillan, 39 seconds left. He's trying to get the job done for the Mustangs. Again, a win here would cut it to 23-16. 23-16 would be within striking distance. There's McMillan, a long shot by Hewlett. McMillan's going to catch him and off the edge of the mat. Oh boy, McMillan had him wrapped up around the head and under the arm. He was ready to slap Hewlett to his back. That would have been huge, just what the doctor ordered for the Mustangs. But again, our referee called him off the edge of the mat. 15 seconds left, and Jamie, I'll be anxious to see if the high school is going to pick up that college rule next year to let them wrestle just a little bit more on the edge of the mat. There's a long shot by Hewlett. The time's going to run out. That's going to be a 3-2 win for McMillan. That'll be 3 points for the Mustangs. It's now 23-16. So the Mustangs getting within striking distance. They're fighting back. Weight class 220. Let's see if the Mustangs send out Jason Grover. And I believe they are. I'm not sure who else they would send out. Jason Grover wrestling very, very well. And for Creston, let's see who they will throw out. They've got Seth Maitland. So they moved Maitland from 195 up. Seth Maitland. And Maitland is a sophomore at 34-9. He's out early with the takedown. So you got, again, 2 good sophomores going at it. Again, this is going to be the, Jamie, the next couple of years. Both of these teams will probably be fixtures at this dual tournament.
And I think you're right. I think both teams, with the youth that they have, are just going to be outstanding the next few years. And we've been talking about that with Independence all the times we've seen them so far this year.
Well, we're going to be here for a little while longer, Jamie, as they've still got the young man from Mediapolis down on the mat. They've got a stretcher in. I'm not sure what the plan is. We're not sure what's even wrong yet. The mother, we see the mother out there right now. There's Jason Grover with an escape, and Maitland right back in on a single. Nice down block, nice front headlock by Grover, and Maitland's going to give him a shove loose, and we're going to circle back to the center of the mat. 49 seconds left to go in this first period. And I'm telling you what, it's been a great duel. A great duel by 2 really good teams with a lot of youth, good senior leadership. Both teams have good senior leadership, but a lot of youth. 33 seconds left. 33 seconds left to go, first period. And Maitland from Creston still leading, courtesy of that early takedown. Hard collar tie by Grover. And Grover's giving Maitland a couple of big snaps of the head. And Jamie, I'm not sure what happened there. The young man got up. The young man from Mediapolis is up. And was that a dislocation and a reset right there on the center of the mat?
I think it might have been, because there is no cast.
I think it might have been a dislocated shoulder, and our doctor might have put that back into place. And boy, oh boy!
And you couldn't ask for a better group of people to be down here. You know, you've got Iowa State athletic trainers here. You've got some absolute great people here. as you've got, from Mercy Clinics, South Medical Clinic here in Des Moines, you've got Dr. Dennis Zachary and Dr. Timothy McCoy, and I believe one of the doctors was down there, and he was doing something down there, and they got him up and walking off the mat because it didn't look the way it looked and the way it sounded, and the look on Hager's face. I didn't think he'd be walking out of here.
That was not good, though, Jamie. But we're glad he's back to his feet. And, boy, that's a good thing. That is a good thing. All right, 1:19 left to go. Second period. Grover's down. Maitland on top. And Maitland's going to ride the left side of Grover. Grover's going to come to a stand-up and try to tie this thing up. Grover's going to come to a stand-up. He's up on all fours. Maitland wrapped around his head, applying some forward pressure. Grover's going to split the hands and going to tie this up now at deuces. Second period, 2-2, 57 seconds left in this second period. Down in front of us, tell you what, quite a match going on at Don Bosco and Clarion Goldfield. It's 6-4 in favor of the Cowboy from Clarion over the Don Bosco Don. Six to 5 now as Clarion let the Don Bosco Don up. Now a takedown instead of tying it. A takedown is going to win this thing if you're Don Bosco. 25 seconds left. Good scramble by Grover and Maitland on the edge of the mat. Off the edge they go, back to the center. Back to the center they go. And Grover with the stand-up. And I'll tell you what, Jamie, that was a 2-point takedown again by Maitland. 2-point takedown by Maitland and a stand-up by Grover to get to his feet. He couldn't quite split the hands of Maitland. I'll tell you what, this is a very, very good sophomore for Creston. There's a cradle now by Maitland, stand-up by Grover, and Grover's going to split the hands of Maitland and score a 1-point escape. It's now 4-3. A long shot by Grover, ill-advised on the edge of the mat. That's going to be go behind Jamie. There were 3 seconds left.
That's not what you wanted to do there. You're going to go to the third period down by 1 point, and he took a long double leg shot, and Maitland just spun around for 2.
Well, we're going to the third period, and Maitland's going to be up 6-3, and Grover's going to be on top riding. There's a stand-up by Maitland. Grover drops in on a single. Maitland turns away from him. Grover latches onto his waist, tries to lift him up, and gives him a shove off the edge of the mat. All right, here we go. Reset, 1:51 left to go. Again, our dual meet score is 23-16. Started at weight class 120. We're going to end with weight class 113. So we've got 1, 2, 3 matches left. 3 matches left right here. And this third place match, this, boy, you would like to come out of here, if you're Independence, you'd like to come out of here 2-1. 7-3 lead by Maitland as he scores an escape. There's a fall by Southeast Polk. It's going to be 23 now to 21. 23-21. Going to 285. All right, 7-3, neutral position. Maitland and Grover. Maitland now playing a little cat and mouse with Grover. I think he's going to stay in that square stance and force Grover to shoot another bad shot. And we'll see if that happens or not. I'm not sure that Maitland is going to force any action at all. Grover's down by 4, so he's going to have to really pick up the pace here. Maybe a fireman's carry, maybe something feet to back here, Jamie, something.
Hey, you're down 4, and you hate to say it, but you take away that last second takedown in the second, and you're down 2. So, you You got to make something happen here. You got to set up a good shot and get yourself back into the match because you only got 30 seconds left.
Well, you're right at that. There's a long shot by Grover. Again, a go behind. Grover's got to take a shot. A go behind by Maitland. And Maitland's not going to cut the corner, so Grover's going to square him off. He's got one more shot. Needs a 4-point move here to tie it up. You got 9 seconds. Got to shoot something, feet to back. And with 5 seconds left to go, Maitland's going to play the turtle, be very defensive, and that's going to do it. That's going to be a 7-3 decision for Maitland. So that'll give the Panthers 3. It's 26-16. But I'll tell you what, it's still within reach, Jamie. You're only down by 10. You got 3 matches left. And you're going to weight class 285, and I'm sure we'll see Mitch Seliski take the mat. Take the mat for the Mustangs. And let's see who Creston sends out. It could be Cody Tanner or Jake Gunschenritter.
Let's hope for the first one.
That's exactly right.
Cody Tanner.
Cody Tanner, thank you very much. He's the freshman. That makes it easy. Here's an opportunity, Jamie, for Seliski to get the Mustangs back in the meet here. I'm telling you what, you're wrestling this freshman. He's 10-12, and you just got to get after it. You're senior wrestling a freshman. You just have to get after it and attack from the get-go. And Seliski now working some upper body. He's got an underhook on the right side of Tanner, and he's got a collar tie with the right, underhook on the left, collar tie with the right. And he's trying to get Cody Tanner, out of position. And I'll tell you what, like to see a fall here.
As we'll take a quick look at what all our area scores. It's 20-20 down there with Clarion Goldfield and Don Bosco. 33-16, Davenport Assumption leads Mediapolis, and Bettendorf leads Southeast Polk 23-21. Just had a final in the third place match in Class 3A. Waverly Shell Rock defeats Cedar Rapids Prairie 42-24.
So that's a pretty sound decision there by Waverly Shell Rock, so they'll take the third place home. There's a snatch single by Seliski. He's going to cut across to a double. He might have Tanner on his back. He does. Cuts across. He's got the freshman on his back. This could be a fall. He's going to tee out. He's chest to chest. This would be huge for the Mustangs. Mitch Seliski with Cody Tanner on his back. We can't see any daylight under there, Jamie. You got to slap the mat. 139. Mitch Seliski will win by a fall. In 139, that's just what the doctor ordered. Tack on 6 for the Mustangs. It's now 26-22. Going to weight class 106. And I'm telling you what, that's just exactly what the doctor ordered for the Mustangs. So we're going to see.
Huge.
That was huge.
Nice job by Mitch Seliski. He came out. He didn't wrestle in that last duel, and I tell you what, he came up and he got a fall there for the Mustangs.
Well, this may be the coach's son, Brody Frayne. I'll tell you what, he is a long drink of water. He is unbelievably tall and thin, if it is. Let's check it out. Yes, it's Brody Frayne. He's a freshman. Jamie, I'm not sure that I've seen a taller or skinnier 106-pounder. And he's working on a single. Nice whizzer and a stuff in the head. Frayne is a freshman. Wolf is a sophomore. So, Jamie, you got to go right to work here. Go right to work. If you're Jake Wolf now, you're within striking distance. We're going to end this thing at 113 with Mitch Evans. So an opportunity for the Mustangs. They are in another meet, another close meet, Jamie.
You got to win it to stay in it here if you're Jacob Wolf.
Can they win another close meet? Can the Mustangs win another close meet? They've certainly been in a lot of close meets. There's a long shot by Frayne, a double, and he's going to set Wolf to his backside. That's going to be the first takedown with 59 seconds left. So that length of Frayne is giving Jake Wolf a little bit of problem right now. And again, That is very, very difficult. Jake Wolf's a tall 106-pounder also, but I'm telling you what, Frayne has probably a head and a half on Jake Wolf. 41 seconds left to go. A nice inside stand-up by Wolf. It's now 2-1. There's a single attempt, a long shot by Wolf. He's going to try to attack the right leg of Frayne, and Frayne backs off the edge of the mat, so we're going to get a start back to the middle. And I'll tell you what, our referee on the championship match at 3A is not giving our Bettendorf. No, there's a long double shot. Long double shot by Frayne again as he sits Wolf to his backside. Might be a fall by Southeast Polk over Bettendorf as we take a peek at that. There's the fall. That's going to put Southeast Polk in the lead. And I think Coach Knight kind of anticipated that. I think that's the top-ranked heavyweight in Class 3A. All right, escape by Wolf. It's 4-3. It's 4-3 going to the second period. So, again, anybody's match. Anybody's match right here. So, a stand-up by Wolf. He's going to tie this up. It's 4-4. Now, if he can just find a way to attack those legs of Frayne, this, I'll tell you what, this would be huge. Southeast Polk now 27 over Bettendorf, 23, going to the 106-pound match. 2 matches to go. Jack Wagner for Bettendorf taking on Adam Brown. So Wagner will be heavily favored here for Bettendorf. All right, 4-4 off the edge of the mat we go. Jamie, a huge match right here. You just got to get after it. If you're Jake Wolf, again, you got to work that head. Frayne's doing a nice job using that length to keep Wolf at bay. And Wolf is just kind of diving in on a shot without setting it up. Now a front headlock by Wolf. Let's see if he can turn. Jack Wagner now for Bettendorf. Trying to pick up a fall and get the Bulldogs back in the top. 55 seconds left to go. We're tied up at 4-4, second period. There's a fall by Bettendorf. They will take the lead 29-27. And I think you got your hammer. Bettendorf is going to finish with a hammer at 113. All right, there's a nice double by Wolf. He's in deep. Let's see if he can come out the back door, take the lead here. Again, that length of Frayne draped over the back of Wolf. Wolf's got to stay latched onto the legs, and we're going off the edge of the mat. That was a great shot, Jamie. That's exactly what Jake Wolf needed to do.
Absolutely, and now you got 21 seconds left. Try to get a takedown here to go into the third period.
Oh, boy, a long double shot by Frayne, and he's got Wolf going toward his back. That was a flat-footed Jake Wolf, and Frayne got riding on that double. And there's a fall by Clarion Goldfield. They will take the lead now 26-23 with 2 matches to go. Jacob Swarm for Bettendorf. Tell you what, hammer in the lineup for Bettendorf. It's got to be a good feeling if you're Coach Knight. All right, 6-4 is all. Jake Wolf locked up a cradle. He's got Frayne locked up in a cradle. Let's see if he can finish it right here. And Frayne's going to stretch that long body out and break the grip of Wolf. But that's the idea right there, Jamie. If you're Jake Wolf, you got to stay with it. You got to stay on it and keep it going. 1:37 left to go in the match. Wolf up on top, riding a hard crossface from left to right. He's trying to set up that crossface cradle. Trying to set up that cross-face cradle, see if he can get the job done. He needs some back points. Swarm from Bettendorf has a cradle locked up. There's the fall. Bettendorf's going to win it. Bettendorf will win the title in Class 3A. Getting the job done over Southeast Polk. Schmitz with a fall for Don Bosco. So Don Bosco will take the lead back. Crazy match down there. It's 29-26, Jamie. Don Bosco. And this is going to weight class 113 is going to be decided. I think Clarion Goldfield's got a pretty good little guy here. We'll see who Don Bosco throws to the stand up by Frayne. Stand up by Frayne. Wolf dives in there and front trips. And he's got that cradle. He's trying to go for that cradle again. Trying to set up that cradle. And I'm telling you what, Jake Wolf just has been close several times and can't get that cradle locked up. Tell you what, he needs a cradle in the worst way right here. And I'll tell you what, 3 points would put him in the lead. Frayne just basing out underneath. 16 seconds left. Not doing much. Let's get a stalling call on Frayne underneath. Thank you very much. But the little bit, tell you what, that's almost too late, Jamie, as Frayne based out this last minute and 15. It's been Frayne basing out, and it's going to be a 6-4 win for Brody Frayne. And that's going to be a 3-point decision. It's now 29-22. Seven points there. I'll tell you what, Independence cannot win this duel as Creston clinched it right there.
And you know that you can't put that on Jacob Wolf. You know that just happens to be, and this is the second time this has happened. You know, looking at the heavyweight match last time, this time it's the 106-pound match where it was the clincher for the other team, and you can't put any of that on. You can't put that on Jacob Wolf. You know, they had some opportunities in this duel, had some opportunities to stay in it.
Well, you're right, and he tried everything he could, trying to set up that cradle, having it locked up, and just couldn't quite get it locked up. Clarion's trying to win this with a fall. Tell you what, that is tight right there. That is tight, Clarion. There's the fall. Clarion's going to beat Don Bosco for the title. The Cowboys went from the 4th seed to the championship right there. Class 1A champs. Bettendorf is your 3A champs. And I believe Assumption was your 2A champs. All right, Mitch Evans is going to finish this thing up. 2-point takedown right there for Cruz Adamson. Cruz Adamson, another one of those seniors for Creston. Again, another tall, lanky, a senior. Adamson comes in at 33-6. So very, very tough. Very, very tough senior. He's going to pick up the first takedown on Mitch Evans. Mitch Evans, a junior, at 30-16. He's had himself a fine year. I'll tell you what, our referee is going over to. Our referee is going to go over to the Creston coach, and he's going to give him a bench warning. And I tell you what, Jamie, right there, you get dinged a team point if you're Creston. And Mitch Evans has a shot to get back in this match, but an inside stand-up by Evans, and Cruz Adamson locks up a cradle as Evans leaves his head down. I think Evans is going to crawl forward here and not let Adamson lock it up. Well, he's still got it locked up. Cruz Adamson, the senior, has got that cradle locked up, and he's going to cast himself over the top of Evans. Evans hanging on for dear life. Evans has the leg of Adamson, but Adamson's going to kick it free, and now Mitch Evans finds himself on his back, and that is tight. That is a tight cradle. Our referee is down there looking close. He's going to go back behind to get a bird's eye view. Cruz Evanson with 5 seconds left, and Evans is going to roll out of it. Boy, I tell you what, saved right there. A 3-point near fall and a 1-point escape. So Evans will have new life here, but it's a 5-1 lead for Cruz Adamson. And it's going to be neutral. Adamson's going to go neutral to start the second period. Jamie, just some great duels this championship night here. Again, Bettendorf coming in as ranked number 2. They win the title. Of course, Assumption ranked number 2. They win the title. And the Clarion Cowboys seeded number 4. They win the title. So none of your number 1s coming out on top. And, that happens occasionally.
Bettendorf was ranked number. Or you're talking.
Were they the top seed coming in? They were the top seed. Okay, very good. Very good. All right. 5-3. 5-3. Cruz Adamson up on top of Mitch Evans. Evans riding Adamson. Riding tight with the tight waist with the left. Claw ride with the right. Trying to keep the hips down. Now a hard crossface by Evans. Comes right back with a crossface cradle of his own. But Adamson slips the left arm out. Got to be careful if you're Mitch Evans, you got to be careful if you try to take this across your back. Adamson is going to post. Now Evans steps over the top of Adamson, and he's going to have Adamson in his cradle to his back. A reverse half Nelson now. We're going to get potentially dangerous. Boy, if he could have kept that cradle locked up, Jamie, Adamson would have went to his back with no place to go because his arm would have been trapped underneath Mitch Evans.
Yeah, it was, and it was real close. Evans just about had that opportunity to pick up the fall on Adamson, and just couldn't get it. But he's right there. He's that close to turning this into a lead for himself.
Well, it's 5-3. 23 seconds left to go, and he's going to try to set up a spladle. Our referee's kind of on the wrong side. Boy, hooked the leg, and he went across the back and inside the left leg, tried to set up a spladle on Adamson, and Adamson is going to base out. Adamson is going to base out, and here's a spladle. Again, he's got it loaded up. Evans has a spladle, but he ran out of time. You're going to get 2 out of it? No, he is not. He got a 1,001 count. Let's see where he decides to go. It's going to be Evans' choice. He's going to go back up on top. And why wouldn't you? We've seen how Mitch Evans can ride people, Jamie. He is very, very tough on top. We'll see if he can put together another outstanding period like that second period. There's a stand-up by Adamson. Evans steps inside, takes his left leg, steps inside the right leg of Adamson, now throws a far side half Nelson on him. Now he steps over, casts himself over to the left side. Adamson peels the half Nelson. Now here comes the cradle again by Evans. He's got it locked up. He's going to cast himself over the top of Adamson. Let's see if he can turn this into some back points. He went hip to hip, and now he's going to try to shoot himself over to the far side. He's got Adamson on his back. You got to be back points right there. There's Mitch Evans with Adamson on his back. Now Adamson is going to try to roll Evans through, and Evans is going to readjust himself. I tell you what, this is a cradle on a cradle. 1:15 left to go. Evans is going to pick up 3, but Jamie, you got to at some point find a way to get out of it. He's got a cradle locked up on Adamson. Now Evans is going to try to high bridge and get himself back on top of Adamson. Adamson's going to work his head out of the cradle, and Mitch Evans has to be careful here. He's got to work his hips back up on top. Could be a scramble situation. It's going to be a 2-point near fall. This thing is tied up, and we're going to get potentially dangerous as Evans drove right over the top of Adamson. Adamson's got that back bent and that neck wrenched. And I'll tell you what, our trainers jumped right out there as Adamson winced with a pain there, but it's tied up with 52 seconds left. So Mitch Evans on the go here, trying to score some back points to win this match. So our trainers over there taking a peek at Cruz Adamson. And again, Jamie, that if there's a the only downside I can think of having this today is just that if a wrestler would get injured and you're a qualifier for the individual tournament. But other than that, we've seen some great matches here, some great individual matches, and some great teams taking part in this.
It's a bad thing when it happens, but I don't like the excuse because a kid could just as easily get hurt if you were having practice today as opposed to wrestling in live competition. That kind of stuff can happen regardless. So, it's an unfortunate thing.
Well, it certainly is, and Cruz Adamson still belly down on the mat. And I think they're going to try to roll him over. He just got it curled up. Actually, it was reverse curled up. He was going chin down to the mat, and his hips came over the top of his head, and it looked like everything got wrenched. And you got 2 minutes of injury time, and if you can't go on, you can't go on. It was not an illegal hold of any kind. If it's an illegal hold and the wrestler gets injured and can't go on, then the injured wrestler will take the win. But in this case, it was just an aggressive move by Mitch Evans as he drove forward. He drove Cruz Adamson forward, and Adamson's hands, he couldn't get his hands out in front of him to brace himself and to get himself up in good position. So we had an injury on mat number 4 with the Assumption Mediapolis match. Now across the way on mat number 3, we've got an injury. Jamie, how about our schedule for tomorrow while we got a minute here?
Well, we will have, tomorrow morning we'll have, as you would say, breakfast at the well, as we will have our Class 2A wrestlers. We'll have our Class 2A wrestlers taking the mat. We've got 12 2A wrestlers that will be taking the mat tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. That goes until 12:15. And then starting at 2 o'clock, we have our Class 3A wrestlers. As I'm not sure, let's see, 12:15. That's 3.5 hours, so 3.5, about, 5:15. And then starting at 7 o'clock, we have our Class 1A wrestlers as we've got 10 Class 1A wrestlers that will be going. So, it's going to be a busy day, that's for sure, and we're looking forward to it.
Well, we should have a lot of wrestlers advance to that second round. Again, there are some tough draws, especially in Class 2A, but we should have several wrestlers advancing to that quarterfinal round. And Jamie, they're calling out the doctor here. This match might be over. Again, he's got to be out of his 2 minute injury time.
Another thing we can talk about too, Roger, while we got a second, we always bring you the area kids that are singing national anthems, and we will definitely do that again this year. But I think our fans are going to be, or our listeners are going to be treated to quite a treat. We've got it set up to where we're hooked up to the PA system. In the past, we've just kind of held our microphones out there, and you could hear it, but it wasn't great. And so what we're going to do this year is we've got it hooked up so those national anthems will sound better than they've ever sounded.
Well, and that's always a fun thing about here. And the farther you go in the tournament, the better the singers get. And when you get to that Saturday night, Jamie, you're always looking for that's the all-star lineup of national anthem singers.
And we didn't hear from any other area kids, but we do know that Renee Pins from West Delaware is going to be singing in session 5, I believe, which is 3:30, which is on Friday, which is Class 2A session. And then Korea Philgreen will be singing for the state championship Saturday night, and that's quite an honor.
Well, it certainly is. Again, that is like the all-state national anthem singers. You have to audition for that. You got to make a tape. You got to sing it, send it in. It goes before a selection committee, and they pick out who they want to sing at what segment. And Cruz Adamson is going to get to his seat, and looks like he will stand up now to his feet. And I think that was more scared than anything else, Jamie, as he got himself wrenched, and trainer's going to escort him back over to the seat there. But Jamie, 29-28, the Mustangs ever so close. And again, you can go back and look at a couple matches here. Well, you can if and but, and you can do that the whole thing, but that's not the point. The Mustangs had an opportunity to win this thing, and they didn't quite get the job done. Let's take a quick timeout here. We'll tally up, and then they're going to start handing out some trophies. Stay with us. You're listening to Hold by Hold action right here on Eastern Iowa Sports Leader, Mix 94.7 KMCH.
With a 21-8 record.
And welcome back in to the Wells Fargo Arena as we wrap it up here for tonight as the Independence Mustangs fall to Creston 29-28, finish in fourth place in the dual tournament as the Mustangs will finish 26-6 on the season. So a good season for Independence, and the good thing for Independence is a lot of these kids are coming back, and They will be fun to watch next season. We started this last duel at weight class 120. It was Wyatt Thompson from Creston with a 3-2 win over Drew Davis. That put the Panthers up 3-0. Tanner Erickson Dale was wrestling a tough match. He got caught on his back by William Fargo and gave up the fall in 1 minute 47 seconds. At 132, Cameron Leaf from Creston with a fall in 3 minutes and 32 seconds over Peyton Nolting from Independence. That made it 15-0. Luke House was then majored 10-2 by Joey Huntington from Creston. That made it 19-0, and then they came to 145, and that's what the Mustangs have kind of been building on, is getting into Chase Straw and then trying to get back into the duels. As looking at it here, they won 3 matches in a row at one point, and that was Chase Straw with a 5-2 win over 6th-ranked Chase Schlitz. At weight class 145, that made it 19-3. 152, Jake Jewell with a 7-5 win over Gavin Leaf. 160 pounds, Nicholas Holt with an 8-4 win over Taylor Pettit. That made it 19-9. Zach Kramer was then majored 10-0 against Trevor Frayne, the coach's son, at 170. That made it 23-9. Kyle Fank then came back with a major decision of his own, making it with a 9-1 major decision, making the score 23-13. Then at weight class 195, Matt McMillan with a 3-2 win over Caden Hewlett. That made it 23-16. Jason Grover then lost a tough match, 7-3 to Seth Maitland, making it 26-16. Mitch Selesky came out with a fall, got the Mustangs right back into it over Cody Tanner, 139. Put the Mustangs down by 4, 26-22 at that point. But then at weight class 106, Brody Frayne defeating Jacob Wolf, a hard-fought 6-4 win, made it 29-22. And at 113 pounds, Cruz Adamson from Creston going down by injury default as Mitch Evans gets the win there. Final score 29-28. And Roger, I tell you what, for our area teams, it doesn't get any easier losing by 1 point or 2 points in these dual meets, as we've seen it the last 3 years, or this is the 3rd year in a row we've seen an area team go down by 1 or 2 points, and it doesn't get any easier. As on this dual meet, Creston with 19 takedowns, Independence with 14. 2 pins for Creston, 1 for Independence. 2 major decisions for Creston, 1 for Independence. No tech falls for either team, and they split matches 7-7 on that last duel. 29-28 our final. So the Mustangs, in their first trip to the state duels in 5 years, since 2009, come in here and finish in 4th place. Roger, the state duel portion is in the books, and we are ready for the individual tournament starting at 9 a.m. tomorrow.
Well, Jamie, it's been a very, very fun day here. We've seen some great matches, some great wrestling, and if our individual tournament is as good as the dual meet tournament is, it's going to be a very, very fun next 3 days, and I'm really looking forward to it.
It usually never disappoints when we get to sit down here and watch the individual portion of this tournament. Well, that's going to do it for us, as we will be back tomorrow morning at 9 on KMCH, on your radio dial, and the mainstream on KMCH.com. Zach McCool will join Roger and me with the call all day, as our Class 2A wrestlers start at 9, our 3A wrestlers start at 2, and our Class 1A wrestlers at Class 1A wrestlers will go at 7 o'clock. We'll be back with that for my partner, Roger Reed. This is Jamie Vasky, and we can't forget, I'd like to thank Paul Glazer for running the board for us this evening. Thanks a lot, Paul. You did a great job, buddy, and we'll talk to you later this week. That's going to do it for us and all the sponsors of KMCH. We thank you. You've been listening to State Dual Wrestling on Eastern Iowa Sports Station, Mix 94.7 KMCH. Good night, everybody.